Coming up on At Your Leisure.
Hi, I'm Chad Booth. We are at the Bonneville Garage.
And I'm Scott Huntsman, and the Motorhome project's moving forward. I'm in charge now.
This is Doug Jessop. In this episode of Jessop's Journey, we're traveling at your leisure off the coast of California to Catalina Island.
I'm Brett Hermansen, seeing what adventures can be had around Lake Taupo, New Zealand.
Hey everybody, welcome to At Your Leisure. I'm Chad Booth.
And I'm Scott Huntsman.
And we are here at the Bonneville Garage. It's the automotive program at Bonneville High School in South Ogden. Why here? Well, because we have delivered the turkey and they are going to give us back the eagle.
That is the goal at the end of it, isn't it?
That's exactly right. So Brett Hermansen has covered the bodywork on this. He's made it look all purty. And now it's Scott's turn to make it run pretty.
Now it's in my hands.
That's
now
right.
It's in my hands. But you know, I get the fun stuff because I don't have to pull it out. And I think it's the best thing about this program is they've got a great facility. They've got great students. They've got a fantastic instructor. All I get to do is just build the horsepower and the torque. Right. But these guys are going to carry it off. So I say, hey, why don't we talk to these guys and see what this program's about?
We're at Bonneville Garage. This is an exciting situation going on. We have one of 5 large projects going on throughout the summer. So we're restoring this RV, not the full part. As you can see, the auto body's already been done, but the engine, you know, that's what we were asked to do, is to help drop and then put in a new engine in there. And so it's an opportunity for my students to learn something that is beyond even my knowledge. And we've had some experts come in and working with my students one-on-one. It's not just wrench turning, it is the soft skills that we need to know. Those are the things that the mechanics need to know, or the technicians need to know, is one, how to talk to somebody, how to answer the phone, showing up to work on time. Those are the things that everybody in the industry is like, oh, I really need this. And my kids are getting that because, one, we're here after hours working on this. These are kids that are dedicated beyond what curriculum says, and they're now learning that in addition, and so they are prized students. For 5 years in a row, we have been the top shop for the Rocky Mountains through Tomorrow Tech magazine. This year, we won Shop of the Nation, but we're also doing a rat rod build to be a part of the Guinness World Record for this summer. They're doing a big gathering and cruise. We're also restoring an old 1960s rail car with the Richard Erickson Foundation. We're also building a 1950 Mack fire truck for the Great Race. We're hoping to enter in 2024. So those are some of our big projects. And then of course, every student gets to direct their own project in the shop. So we have about 42 active projects. Each one is managed by a student and their student teams. And we meet every other week, and we, just like a board, and we go over each project. So the students are learning management skills. The students are learning how to do task management, resource management, how to reach out to industry and get donations to get these projects progressing. So on the motorhome, so I presented it to my student leadership. It's like, hey, this is an opportunity we could do. We have some of these other projects that we would have to put on for another year or so. How do you guys feel about it? And so my student leaders discussed it, and then they came back and said, yes, let's do it. And then I contacted, and then sure enough, there it is, right behind me. And once again, I run it through my students because this is a student-run program, and that should be, because that's where they're learning those skills, beyond turning a wrench.
As you can see, this is a great program. Adam's a great instructor. This is a dream auto mechanics shop for any student. So while they're continuing their work on the motorhome, why don't you guys check out this story coming up.
In this episode of Jessop's Journey, we're traveling at your leisure off the coast of California to Catalina Island. Upon arriving in the city of Avalon on Catalina Island, we got on a modified military HumVee and took a tour of the town of about 4,000 full-time residents with Andrew Quintana of the Catalina Island Company.
You can call me Andrew, Andy, Driver, Drew, you, Hey You, or Bison.
More about the name Bison later. The Wrigley family, yes, the chewing gum folks, acquired the majority of the Catalina Island Company in 1919. Built a house and invested millions of dollars in the island. The Wrigleys happened to own a baseball team, so why not? Catalina Island was the spring training location for the Chicago Cubs from 1921 to 1951.
From the prom-fringed patio of the country club at Catalina Island, the National League champion Chicago Cubs leave for their nearby spring training grounds.
In the 1970s, the Wrigleys donated 88% of the land to the Catalina Island Conservancy for preservation. The island normally gets around 11 inches of rain per year. This year, they got more than double that number, which makes for an incredible, beautiful landscape.
Excellent. You're near 20 million people right now, because from Santa Barbara County.
The mountain road dates back to 1897. It was originally a 6-foot wide dirt road for stagecoaches. Our Hummer was 8 feet wide, counting the mirrors. The island is home to plant life you won't find anywhere else. We stopped and checked out a special variety of rosemary that looks a lot like dill that grows along the trail. Incredible fragrance.
What you're going to do is you're going to crush it in your palm.
Our tour was touted as an eco-tourism ride. It's interesting to find out that the local restaurants donate their used cooking oil that's then converted into biofuel right there on the island and used to run the Hummers. Charlie Chaplin used to be a pilot that would fly his guests to the island.
Well, the island company, we do these tours out here that take us into areas where you can come across wild North American bison. They are scattered throughout this island. There's only about 100 roughly around that number out in the hills, and it's always kind of a roll of the dice. It's like whale watching. You can't promise them, but they are there sometimes. So when we come across them, people don't yell Andrew, they yell bison. And so, kind of a nickname now.
Fortunately, we didn't find any bison while we were on our Hummer ride, but we did find one at the airport.
Catalina Island, from Long Beach to Catalina Island, it's 26 miles, which is the same distance it would take to go from downtown LA to Disneyland. There's 20 million people in Southern California. They're all on the freeway. But you come out here to the island, it's a different world.
With another episode of Jessop's Journeys, people, places, and things you might not know about, for At Your Leisure, I'm Doug Jessop. We'll be right back.
What would your perfect day in Green River look like? You'd probably start with a few good friends and a hearty breakfast. From there, you'd hit the trails along the Green River and find things you never expected. Your OHVs would take you to places both striking and serene. You'd end at Ray's for a burger and good conversation, letting the memories grow long into the night. Green River, Utah. Ride your perfect today.
At Your Leisure has a long-standing reputation and a large, loyal audience of adventurers in the outdoors. Although we're excited to continue to grow and enjoy the shared success of our longtime sponsors, we have space for more. And if you have a brand that would benefit from the 2 decades of goodwill that we've built, contact us at ayltv.com and let us amplify your voice above the competition.
When you're ready for adventure, fuel your machine with Clear 91. Fuel for performance, fuel for adventure, and fuel for the long haul. Ethanol-free, 91 octane. Fill up with Clear 91. Only available at Eagles Landing. With you for the long haul.
Sometimes to recharge, you need to unplug. In Tikaboo, Utah, you'll find a landscape that will give you more energy than you ever thought possible. Escape the heat in the Henry Mountains, where history, off-road adventure, and bison herds meet. It's time to unplug and recharge. Tikaboo, Utah.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure. We are at the Bonneville Garage, Bonneville High School in South Ogden. And I just thought it'd be good for us to recap for a moment the saga of Road Force One. Okay, this started over a year and a half ago, if you'll recall, when I called Brett Hermansen and said, what can we do with this motorhome? And he got some wild ideas for a great paint job on it, and there it started. So I thought we should recap for a minute and find out if that was a hard job or an easy job.
Well, it's been a long journey so far with the motorhome. It's got a longer ways to go. Now we've turned it all over to the school. Yeah, we had a lot of fun with it. We almost burned it to the ground at one point. If you'll notice in, I believe it was episode 3, that we screwed into the side of it and it hit something live. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. We did change the trajectory of our paint job, I guess. The first paint job we had, we changed our mind and now we're making it look like Air Force One, which now it does. A couple of doors cut in it, which were a little harder than we thought it would be to do. And probably the biggest challenge while we were working on it was, well, we had to get everything off of it. It had a big awning on the side of it. We did have to get that off. We finally just cut that off and then took the rest of it off. The moldings, it had some compartments on top that we just threw off the top and busted because we weren't putting them back. So, you know, a few things like that. The doors would probably be the hardest, and those aren't quite done yet. I'm gonna still go up to the school and work on those a little bit more and get them just perfect. I'm still holding a couple of plaques hostage in my desk drawer. We haven't put them back on yet. Chad doesn't know that. so I gotta get those up to the school and put them back on so people will know it's a GMC. Of course, the rear bumper was really hard to get off. It was pretty much rusted right on the vehicle. Well, I guess the other thing, we had everything chromed, you know, the bumpers and the grill and things like that, so it looks good. That was some of the real hard things to do. Yeah, now they just got to put a motor in it and do the interior and everything else, all the hard stuff. I did the easy stuff. But other than that, yeah, I've washed my hands of it.
Where do you start your day when there are endless opportunities to explore? In Ridgefield, we'll set you on the right track with the Paiute ATV Trail right on our doorstep. Head into the Tusher Mountains and taste the crisp mountain air. Explore desert landscapes that echo voices from the past. Ridgefield, the heart of Utah Trail Country.
Wondering where your next OHV adventure will take you? Outsiders Utah has your answer with downloadable GPS routes, ride times, distance, local amenities, and other details. 360 street views of the trails that let you explore before you go, and more. Eliminate the guesswork and uncertainty and find a trail you'll love. Visit outsidersutah.com and see the trail before you ride the trail.
Locally owned Stedman's Recreation has been serving Utah for over 50 years. The owners, Russ, Dave, and Kirk, live and ride here. Stedman's Recreation supports the community, sponsoring schools, Utah state parks, and Utah trail systems. Looking for a new side-by-side, ATV, or dirt bike? Your wait is over. Inventory is in stock. Let Stedman's help you get outside so you can create memories that last a lifetime. Yamaha, Honda, Polaris, Argo, KO, and Beta.
Stedman's Recreation in Tooele. You might think it's 300 miles out here, but remember, it's only 30 miles back.
Hey everybody, welcome back to At Your Leisure. Now I am joined by Jim Bounds, 35-year expert with your own shop, restoring these. You're retired now.
Retired.
Which brought you out here to give us a hand with this.
Yeah, Chad called up and said what he was doing, and couldn't resist.
Couldn't resist, and you came along with a good friend of yours.
This is Mark Creel.
Mark Creel. And you were with the Cadillac dealership way back. We're talking at the time they were building these things,
when they were brand new.
Oh, that's awesome. You know, these guys are the brains behind restoring these because they've done it for so long. They know it like the back of their hand.
Scary.
So from here, you know, I'm taking the engine.
Right.
And the engine's going to my shop. I have another one that we built by your specifications.
Right.
Got your camshaft.
That's right. See, performance engines, they think about high RPM, you know, and fast. Well, we're pulling 4 cars. That's 12,000 pounds. So that takes a performance engine too.
Yes.
But it's a different performance engine. We want low RPM torque.
Exactly.
And it was designed to turn on at about 1100 and roll off at 3000. Because our power band is about 26,
That's
28.
It, just right there. Yes.
Right in there. So, you know, as you saw, this is not easy to take in and out. You don't do it with a pizza. So you take every precaution possible. You don't just do the motor, because the transmissions had just enough screws to it too. Sure. So if the motor's shot, you do the transmission because it's so hard to put them both back up in there.
Right.
You know, another thing with the problem with these things, you run at low RPM, right?
Yep.
And if you had to put high test gas in it, you lose your mind. It costs too much.
Right.
We can't use ethanol because the original tanks are metal. This is the original tank, metal 2-piece tank. Has a usual cinder in it.
Okay.
Now see, here's something odd. The inlet is at 1/4 of a tank level going in. So as the fuel goes in, as soon as it gets to here, it has to push the fuel in, which creates pressure.
Right.
And it only has a single 5/16 vent line on it, so it can't relieve the pressure.
It makes it very difficult then to fill.
Right.
To get all the way full.
Right,
You
and
know,
there's 2 of
using the
them.
conventional thing. Yeah, and there was 2 of these?
Yeah, and there's 2 of these. They're
Gotcha.
sitting side by side. One's,
Gotcha.
Yeah, one's, they got a cross member in between here.
Sure. So because of the fact that it was 2 separate tanks, Jim, and you had a cross member that ran in between, that's the reason for this aluminum now cross member part.
What Jason did here is this is a full aluminum bar running all the way through.
Run all the way through.
That has holes in it. Of course, it's part of the, you know, the baffle.
Sure.
But you'll cut the cross member that's under there and bolt it back into here. Yeah. This is 65 gallons. Now, originally we had 50.
Wow, okay. 50 was so 225s, but now we got 165.
165 gallons.
Really increased the capacity, and it still fits under the chassis. Cross member built into the tank.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, Jim, this is really good stuff, and man, I'll tell you what a great thing. Hey, everybody, stay tuned because we got more At Your Leisure coming up.
I'm Brett Pennyfather with At Your Leisure on the North Island of New Zealand for a family visit exploring a fascinating playground full of intriguing culture and epic scenery.
Lake Taupo, this is the source of the Waikato River. So we've got 42 rivers running into the lake and only one running out. The opportunities in the Taupo area for tourism and adventure sports are endless. Because of our beautiful scenery, it's very popular for power boating and yachting. So there are lots of different bays and nice places to see on the lake. One of the big things that is popular is the Maori carvings.
This iconic work of art is a meticulous, cultural rich wonder. It's well worth getting the in-depth information from guides and experts to truly understand it.
I got to go on a boat into Lake Taupo for school, and we learned about the Maori carvings.
It's a huge big tourist attraction. People go there by powerboat, they go there by yacht, kayak trips.
We can paddleboard, swim, kayak.
Every time you go on a commercial boat trip to the carving, you'll get a running commentary from a tour guide to tell you all about the significance of the carvings and lots of history of the lake, how the lake was formed, and one of the biggest volcanoes that's ever been.
This volcanic activity has blessed the lakeshores with rhyolite rock faces that make for accessible and fun climbing adventures.
It has a rope and a harness and good rock holds.
With the right equipment and experience, a fantastic family day out.
The Kinloch Crag, where people have actually gone and put bolts into the rock, so it's very popular for rock climbing, and there are many different routes on the local crags, and you can choose them according to your ability for climbing and your interest too. If you've done one, go and do another one, and they're a whole lot of fun. And it's fantastic that children as young as 4 are learning to climb on these rocks. You know, rope assisted, they wear their harnesses, they know what to do if they fall.
It's a great combination of fun and challenges.
The favourite thing about rock climbing is I get to swing on the rope. Some of the rock climbing is hard because I can't get my hand or foot in the right place.
The fun around Lake Taupo doesn't stop there.
We get to play in lots of places.
There's 300 kilometres of mountain bike trails in the Taupo area.
And if you've had enough of the land, there are other options.
Skydiving, and for inexperienced people they can do tandem skydives, kayaking, river rafting from grade 2 to family float trips right up to grade 5.
This incredible 152,217-acre lake has unique landscapes around every corner.
On the southern tip of the lake, one of the very big tourist attractions is the Tongariro Crossing. It's supposed to be the best one-day hike in New Zealand, and it's a 21-kilometre hike, and you walk past all 3 of our volcanic mountains. You start off with Mount Ruapehu, and you walk along past that, past Mount Narahoe, which is a cone-shaped typical volcano, and then you end up walking on Mount Tongariro, and 21 kilometres later you've done the Tongariro Crossing.
What recommendations are there for a first-time visitor to the lake?
They should think about putting sandfly spray on because there's heaps of sandflies there.
It's a small price to pay to visit such a stunning area.
Everybody always talks about the good old days when the grass was greener, the air was clearer, and adventure could be found in any direction. Well, the good old days are still here. You just need to know where to look. In Aurora, Utah, you can find everything you want out of life. Limitless OHV access, views that ignite the imagination, and destinations that remind you how the good old days are closer than you thought. Aurora, Utah, where the good old days are brand new.
Unexplored. Does it mean riding the same trails as everyone else? Fishing the same lakes? Stopping at the same views? No. Unexplored is so much more. To find it, you need to get off the beaten path. In the northeast corner of Utah, you and your family can still find a land that's unexplored. The shores of Flaming Gorge are only the beginning of a family adventure in Daggett County. Daggett County, Utah. It's what you find at the end of your adventure.
Join us on AYL 24/7 with early access to commercial-free episodes, detailed trip itineraries, a look behind the scenes, group discussions and forums, profile and account customization, individual segments, and a nostalgic trip to classic episodes. We want our viewers to get the show they want to see when they want to see it. It's all the viewing you've grown to love and more. Sign up now at AYLTV.com.
Jorgensen's Power Sports is your one-stop shop for all of your outdoor adventure needs. We carry a wide variety of ATVs, UTVs, RVs. Check us out online at www.jhsport.com.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure. We are at the Bonneville Garage. This is Bonneville High School, South Ogden, who, because of their award-winning program here, we entrusted with the Road Force One project. Now, we talked about a lot of things we're going to do. We did not talk about the fact that we're going to upgrade the suspension. Since GM built this really revolutionary air suspension for this coach back in the 70s, it's gone through a lot of design changes. There have been some flaws, people figured it out, but Jim and some of his friends at different builders around the country started working on a quad system where you can use modern bags you can get off the shelf. They completely isolate the wheels and they provide a better handling experience, more of a sports car feel to this coach. Now, the last phase that is going to come as soon as we get the mechanics done is we're going to move to the interior. GM had a modular interior. Everything comes out in big pieces through the back, and then you can rebuild them exactly to fit the curve of the coach, put them back in, and you got a brand new coach. We're going to do like a mahogany and gray and make it look like an executive aircraft, or in our case, Road Force One. Well, a lot more ahead. Let's check out next week's show. Next week, we are talking extreme rally sport fun as we meet up with Kurt Miles at the Side-by-Side Adventure Rally on the rocks to see what kind of trouble a slick rock crew can get into. Then, Scott Huntsman is taking you back to the Easter Jeep Safari as he shows off a great day with all the sights and sounds of a fantastic event in Moab. And finally, Reese Stein is captured in time as he introduces us to the St. George car guy, and they enjoy a wonderful day riding in style in a 1911 Model T. Now let's check out our contest winner. This week's contest winner was submitted to us on Facebook by Marty Walker, and it looks like Marty is the lucky winner of a Clearly Tough windshield. Clearly Tough offers the strongest windshields on the market. Visit clearlytough.com for more information. Congratulations, Marty, and be sure to call us on Monday at 801-947-8888 to claim your prize. Now, let's take a look at the calendar of events. First up, May 19th through the 21st is the UTV Invasion at Sand Mountain in the Little Sahara Recreation Area. UTV Invasion is a high-adrenaline UTV power sports event with races and rides and activities to keep everyone excited and enjoying the fun. Then, June 20th through the 23rd is a great family event. It's the National ATV UTV Jamboree, which is the longest-running UTV event in America. It's been going since 1987. This Jamboree knows how to have a good time with great rides, food, and fun for even the little ones. And this year, they've even brought back the legendary Mud Bog. Well, this is just the beginning. There's a lot more in store yet. Keep tuning in because we're going to bring you updates on this exciting part. This is the most dynamic part of the restoration, and I'm really excited about it. Scott's got a lot in store for us.
Exactly. Well, we got an engine going to be coming back for it.
Yep.
So that's a big plus. But I'll tell you what, I hand it to all these guys here. Adam, what a great job you do at teaching this class. I wish I were 16 years old again. I'd sign up for it. Trust me, I'd just move right there, right across the street, and I'd come to it because this is just a heck of a lot of fun.
It is, and they've done a great job. Mark, Jim, thanks for lending your expertise to this project. We're expecting great things from you in the next few weeks. And as I always say, there's adventure around every bend.
Just get out and create your own.
At your leisure. Who wants to go for a ride?
Let's see!